This is Maddie. What's up?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. My name is Maddie. I'm an NPC bikini competitor, online lifestyle and contest prep coach. The link is always down below to join Team MPowered Fitness. There we can set up a discovery call, get to know one another, and see if we could be a good fit. This morning's video was supposed to be in last week's video, but I didn't want to make it too long, and I kind of wanted to separate my reverse diet from show day. So disregard the commentary from this next clip that shows you my breakfast. I am just cooking up my post-workout meal. I just did my glute workout in 30 minutes on the Stairmaster, got back home, and I'm using up my leftovers from my untracked day yesterday. Leftovers meaning fajita chicken, okay? So I've logged that. One of my biggest tips, I'm gonna insert little tips here throughout this reverse diet, full day of eating, is to pre-log as soon as you get your reverse diet macros, which is something that I prioritize doing with my clients before they even start their reverse. So they've got those numbers, is to pre-log that full day of eating into MyFitnessPal like the day before. Because usually the morning, you wake up, you've got all these macros, you've got these misaligned, confused hunger signals, you might be craving some certain things, and it's nice to just have a plan in place. If you're a lifestyle athlete, if you're a competitor post-show, whatever it may be, pre-logging is really gonna save you here because it's going to set you up for success with a plan. You already know what you're eating, everything is zeroed out for you, and it makes the process a lot easier on your body and on your head and your heart. Hello, good morning, happy Monday, YouTube. So last night, as you guys know, I went out with some friends. We were supposed to go get espresso martinis, but my throat is really killing me and I was honestly exhausted. I forgot my ID, all the things. So I just came home, ate a Ninja Creamy and went to bed. But I wanted to show you guys, as I wrap up this video, my full day of eating on my reverse diet protocols. So my macros have been updated. I'm at like 145 protein, 175 carb, 45 fat. I just finished my blackberries. I'm having my decaf coffee, and then I have my usual oats and egg whites here. There's 15 grams of oats, a package of better oats, and 6 ounces of egg whites in this meal. I'm about to go hit the gym, do 30 minutes of cardio and leg day, and then I will show you guys meal number 2. One of the biggest tips that I have when you are approaching your reverse diet coming out of a show is to keep a majority of your food sources the same. I have been having cravings for red meat. You're gonna see that I'm using up some of the leftovers from last night's fajitas, but it really helps to manage cravings, to manage hunger, to manage digestion, and keep energy levels the same. So I will be walking you guys through a full day of eating on my reverse. Okay, so this would be meal number 2. I've got sweet potatoes, some fajita chicken from last night, green onion, broccoli, cauliflower, and then 2 little shrimp just to round out my protein for my post-workout. All right, so 2:08 p.m. I just heated up a little bit of cod and my leftover fajita steak, basmati rice, and then I've air fried mushrooms, zucchini, green beans, and green onion. I'm gonna put some pink salt on that, and that will be meal number 3. All right, so your meal tip for this meal is you're probably noticing that I haven't yet started putting sauces and sugar-free things really back into my diet yet. And that's one of the ways, even if your diet's staying consistent with food choices, that you can create a lot of bloat, water retention, and digestive distress. I know that there's this like urgency post-show to like have more flavor in your meals and have more sauces, but you can prolong that for a few more weeks, especially if it means you're staying comfortable. So I'm not gonna be putting sauces back in until I get the green light from my coach. And even when I do, it's going to be slow and steady. I'm not gonna start with, the whole kitchen sink of sugar-free sauces at every meal and things like that. Staying comfortable is just as important as staying on top of your macros when you're in a reverse diet. So salt and herbs for me, and just back to my normal meals. Hi YouTube. Okay, so it is almost 5 o'clock and I am getting in my last meal before dinner. So I've got shrimp and rice here and then a container or a half a container of Cocoa probiotic vegan yogurt. Tip for this meal is I like to keep proteins pretty much the same. You saw I had a little bit of chicken and steak. Yes, I've been craving red meat, so I wanted to incorporate that and honor my body's cravings. Usually there's a reason why your body wants those things. However, chicken and red meat, not ground turkey, not ground chicken, but chicken and red meat are very tough on the GI. So I like to keep my meats simple and I like to still stay on top of my probiotic intake post-show, keeping things dairy-free so that my digestion is nice and smooth, knowing that when you start incorporating those things, that's when digestion takes the back seat, all right? So I'm gonna eat this up and then I'm gonna go get the rest of my steps in for the day. Okay, Fit Fam, so we have dinner here. I've got jasmine rice or basmati rice, cod, and cherry tomatoes. You haven't seen cherry tomatoes in my diet in a while, but I was craving them. Not too much variation in my diet, but I really wanted some, so I picked some little sweet. These are the cherry tomatoes that I buy, and oh guys, they are so good. It's the sugar bombs on the vine. They're incredible. They're better than any other cherry tomatoes that I've had. But that is dinner. I'm adding in my air fried veggies, so I've got green onion, mushrooms, zucchini, I already said that. Mushrooms, zucchini, that's it. And then 5 grams of coconut oil. I remember the days when I was fearful of foods like this. I was like, why would anybody eat something that's essentially flavorless and just fat, right? Look at this. This is a moment of pride. I just want to share with you. This bad boy is almost empty. But I keep things like that in my diet. There's a lot of benefits to foods outside of just taste, or although coconut oil does taste good, just taste, or, you know, I don't know what else I was trying to say. There's a lot of benefits to food outside of just taste and texture. Although I love the way that coconut oil tastes and adds texture to meals, a lot of people might be like, that's unnecessary, I don't need it, so I'm gonna skip out on the calories. And if that's you and you're fearful of those foods, it might be time to work with a coach. And the reason why I say that is because things like your digestion, your hormones, they love things like coconut oil. Add a little bit of that to your meals and you would be really surprised with how much more stable your blood sugar is, how much better your meals digest, your hormones might optimize a little bit. So just things like that. This is a win for me because for a long time this was a fear food. Now I'm down in it like nobody's business. So tip here, you know, I did want to add in some cherry tomatoes. This is an example of a little bit of variation in my diet, but you can see it's not so much that it's going to throw me off. It's about 7 o'clock. Another tip, a bonus tip, is to keep your meal times the same. I was getting really, really hungry this afternoon. You know that your hunger signals are going to be a little bit erratic after a dieting phase or after a prep. And so I went outside, I got some fresh air. I went for a walk, I got movement in, wasn't trying to push off dinner, right, until 8 or 9 p.m., but I was just trying to wait until my normal meal time. This post-dieting phase is really, really important to keep all things, or as many things as possible, the same for your mental peace of mind, for your physical body, and to really optimize your experience after a show or a diet. Hi YouTube, happy Tuesday. I have had a very busy week, as I'm sure you guys can imagine. This is kind of just like this season of busy, crazy, all the things. But popping on here to let you guys know it is Tuesday, it is check-in day. So I checked in with my coaches. Really, really proud of myself and just the way that I've stayed adherent to my reverse diet and my goals with that. One of my big goals is that I have friends and family coming in town for the holidays, and I really want to afford myself with I want to earn those calories that I'm going to be hopefully getting today. But with that, I also don't want to be so rigid that I, am restricting myself. So for example, in the evenings, in my Ninja Creamy, I cook up 2 of these. These are my favorite. Look at all the food that I have in my freezer. My favorite little, cookies. And they're 110 calories for 2. It helps me to practice balance, right? Everything in moderation, without deterring all of my progress. I have my normal meals throughout the day. I have my stuff that keeps me satiated and makes me feel and perform my best. I also did this test this morning. This is a test I do on some of my clients. This is the GeneSight Pro 7. I don't want to compare it to like a 23andMe. However, it shows your predisposition to autoimmunity and like different autoimmunity, autoimmune issues. So it'll just be interesting to get that back and to share the results with you guys. It's just a simple cheek swab and then you ship it off. So I did that, and then had my breast augmentation consult yesterday with Dr. LeBlanc in Quebec. They're booking surgeries right now for February. So today at 1:45, I have a coaching call with my coaches to discuss our show plans for 2024 and maybe some other exciting things. So I'm very excited to get on that. Got a lot of things in the works. If I do go through with this operation, it'll be a 2 to 3 hour flight up to Quebec. So nothing too crazy. I'll stay there for like 48 hours, get the surgery, fly back home. But we've got a lot of other fish to fry, so to speak. So I'm just working through the things, and I'll keep you updated. Hello, YouTube. So it is about 7 p.m. I am exhausted. I'm thankful, but exhausted. I've been at my desk, my kitchen counter all day working. So I just walked down to Publix to get some steps in, and it's now time to take a shower. But I had a great call with my coaches today. It looks like we're going to be putting a pause on the BA, maybe doing that in like May or June. And we have plans for a pro debut, and it's not that far away. So I'm actually planning on hitting up a show here in Orlando. I think I'm going to start off maybe with Clash. We've talked about Clash, we've talked about Girl Power, we've talked about Charlotte. So those are some of the shows that are on our radar right now. And we'll just kind of play it by ear. Updates to my protocol: cardio got cut in half, so I'm now at 15 minutes 6 days a week as opposed to my 30. And food is coming up, but not daily. So I was provided with 800 flex calories, which is also something that I like to do with my clients if they're comfortable, which essentially is just giving you the flexibility to have 800 calories on many different days, not 800, but spread apart many different days or all on the same day. So for something like a holiday, I'm probably going to use those 800 calories between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And then the following week, we'll reassess. Hopefully macros kind of come up cumulatively as a whole, and then I'll get some flex calories on top of that for New Year's. But nonetheless, it just provides you with a little bit of peace of mind, a little bit more autonomy, a little bit more flexibility around the holidays. So we're still reversing and looking at prepping sometime in the new year. Hello, YouTube. I know that this video has been like literally all over the place. I feel like I showed some of my reverse diet, talked about my new changes to protocols, but I haven't just sat down and breathed for a minute right now. I am still overwhelmed with just gratitude for seeing all the comments on these videos, and then seeing you guys come over to my Instagram page. By the way, I try to make it a priority to reach out to each and every one of you that follows me so I can know who you are. I love to know who my community, who my people are. And so many of you have said that you found my channel on YouTube, or that I popped up, or congratulations for the pro card, or whatever it may be. And that literally makes my day. So if I ever miss anybody, like, send me a DM, because that's rare and I want to get to know you guys. But we have been onboarding new MPowered Fitness members left and right. I have about 8 onboardings to do this weekend, on Christmas weekend, so that should be really, really exciting. I will be working. But in the spirit of being grateful and expressing gratitude, something that I realized was that this prep really like cultivated this gracious mindset, or it really just helped to grow it within me. And I didn't want to need to be in prep to maintain that. So I actually picked up this little gratitude journal on Amazon. It's cute. It's like linen. And inside, looks like this. It's got a quote at the top, and these quotes have been awesome. Like yesterday's was, efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than it is necessary. Like, these are good, deep ones. And then it has you write 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things that would make today great, and then 1 daily affirmation. And then following that are today's act of kindness. You do this at night, so you reflect on 3 acts of kindness and how you could have made today better. So it's really just helped me to be present and be in the moment. And one of my daily affirmations is like, right now, like, I go where the river flows. And part of that, I kind of wanted to just expound upon that a little bit. So I had this like moment last night, so Thursday night. I checked in with my coaches on Tuesday is when we had our call discussing pro debut and things like that. So I want to just normalize that, like, sometimes you may make a decision in this sport or in life as an athlete, and all of a sudden you might have like a little buyer's remorse, right? Like a little like, oh shit, what did I just do? And I had a little bit of that. Like, transparently, you guys know I'm honest with you. Last night I was like, oh my gosh, like, I just prepped for 400 days, essentially. You know, I had a 3-month off season, and maybe this is what it's like when you get into the pro leagues. You know, you kind of take 3 to 4 months off, you do another show or 3 shows, you take 3 to 4 months off. But it's not that I feel at this point that I missed out on anything. I feel like I live a life characterized by everything happens for me, not to me. You know, it's like I try to make sense of why things happen to me and why things are given to me, and how they came to be, and how I can leverage what I have gotten, good and bad, to help others. That's just like my spirit, my fruit of the spirit, if you will. But I was just thinking about, like, you know, do I really want, and that's what it comes down to. It's a want, right? Do I want to compete this soon? And I think for many reasons I do. I'm maintaining stage weight. Like, I literally am less than a pound up from my stage weight. I'm doing a lot less activity. I'm eating a little bit more, and I'll talk about that here in a second. You know, it's not going to be that tough of a prep. It's right around the corner. But at the same time, I also don't want to miss more of life. And I don't even want to say that, because it's not like I miss out on life. I feel like I'm finally in a spot where the people in my life just easy breezy beautiful, like, coincide with this lifestyle. They just like go with it and they support it so much. Like, it's not like I'm feeling pressured in any way, shape, or form. I think it's more just like, what do you want to do? Because there is no wrong answer. So the place that I kind of arrived at, if you will, is I'm gonna regardless get lab work done in January. And I know that right now hormones are not like optimal where they should be, but I'm not expecting them to be. And that's important as a competitor, you know, to set your expectations. Don't be shocked after a prep if they're not great. But why would I go through 6, 8, 12 months fixing them if I do have plans to compete again, which I do? So I do think that at this very moment, that's kind of my game plan. And in alignment with my affirmation, I go where the river flows. The river has been very evidently flowing in one direction, really for the past 3 to 4 months. And I have leaned into some of those directions, and I have also forced myself to go in previous circumstances and in life, in many situations where the river doesn't flow. And eventually it becomes very evident that there's no flow there, you know? So that's kind of it. I don't want to like hop around like and lead anyone to think anything like I'm trying to create suspense. I really don't know. I don't know if I'm going to follow through with this pro debut or if I am not. Right now I'm leaning towards doing it, but I want to make sure that my mind and my heart is in it. And if there's any words of advice or wisdom that I could give you guys, it's that it is okay to not know. It is okay to set a stage date with your coach and to just go with it and to not put pressure on yourself. You know, if you're prepping for stage, it doesn't mean cheat on your diet and like, oh, I'm hungry, I guess I'll cheat. And then, you know, if I don't do the show, no, you know, if you're going to commit, you're also going to commit to the process, but it's okay to figure it out as you go. Everything happens for you and not to you, and you're in control. So that's my little spiel. But at this very moment, that is our plan. I do plan on getting back up on stage, and I'm excited for that. And I'm really excited to have a lot of new supporters on this journey with me. But another update for you guys, I messaged my coaches the other day, and this is something that I wanted to be open about because I think that vulnerability and trust in communication, not only with yourself, but also with your coaches, is so important. 2 years ago, a year ago, I would have begged my coach. In fact, I did. My previous coach begged him for macros for the holidays. Please give me some sort of structure, something. And as you all know, my lovely coaches who I adore, they gave me flex calories for Christmas, the week of Christmas and the week of Thanksgiving. So I could leverage 800 calories however I wanted. But I have had a heightened sense of awareness, of communication with myself, and a deepening of trust in myself in the past 5 or 6 months. And I actually began to feel that if I was given even flex calories that I could have autonomy and creativity and power of choice with, that I was being in many ways restrained. And one thing that I really, really want to do right now is to learn and to teach you all, as I'm learning, how to be a top competitor, how to live that life, because there is a way to do both. You can be a competitor and you can also celebrate holidays and things like that. And there is no black or white, right or wrong answer for anybody, but I just felt like by having that, one of my goals, I'm going to go back to that. One of my goals is to be present with my family and with my friends. And I want to show you guys that I'm present. And I felt so strongly that in many ways, that by having those boundaries and that constraint on myself, even though it was more flexible than what I currently have, it was implanting a seed of doubt in my mind about my capabilities, about my ability to trust myself, about truly my ability to be present. And I didn't want to be tracking as I go or planning ahead or asking my family what the macros were and things, because in reality, while for many athletes, this is a viable solution, and I actually think they gave it to me because of the way that I'm wired. They know that I love structure and that I love comfort and organization. They know me well. And in many ways, this would serve a tremendous number of athletes. But my goals are a little different right now. And one of those goals is to kind of put a stamp on the fact that I trust myself. And I think that by approaching the holidays untracked, not the whole day, but Christmas Eve dinner, Christmas Day dinner, and New Year's Eve, by being untracked for those things, I feel like I am proving to myself what I already know, which is that I know roughly the macros of things. I know not to have 6 slices of pie. I know not to have desserts and alcohol at the same time. Like, I know not to eat the whole bowl of spinach artichoke dip. I know to make sure that I eat my protein first, and I'm doing what I can too, to make sure that there's things there for me that I like to eat that make me feel good. I'm going to make a roasted vegetable tray with butternut squash, sweet potato, fennel, zucchini, yellow squash, onion, delicata squash. It's amazing. 375, 40 minutes in the oven. It gets nice and brown. You could put some stevia, some cinnamon, there's a seasoning called breakfast blend that's so good. It's like sweet and savory. I'm going to put that on top of it. Sage, it's awesome. I'm going to cook that. I'm going to cook a Greek yogurt, broccoli salad with raisins and sunflower seeds. I'm going to cook a gluten-free stuffing that's macro friendly that I found. It's got whole nutrient dense ingredients in it. I'm making some dips with Greek yogurt. I have one with Greek yogurt, one with whipped cream cheese that I picked up at Sprouts, and one's a caramelized onion dip. The other's kind of like a dill, more like salty dip. And I'm bringing a vegetable tray. And then I'm also making a vegan butterscotch pumpkin pie with like flax seeds and pumpkin and vegan chips. It's going to be really, really good. But nonetheless, like I know that there's going to be nourishing things there, and I have the choice to eat them. And I know like I said, how I want to feel. So they agreed, and they were like, we believe in you just as much as you believe in yourself. So take this. But I go on that tangent to say, when you feel something strongly in you and it's justified, right? It's not, oh, well, I want to binge, so can I have an untracked meal? But when it's justified, your coaches only know so much. So it's important to communicate to them what your desires are. If you're getting burnt out on tracking macros, is it because you're trying to make things too complicated, or is it that you really feel like what you're being called to do is eat intuitively? If you're, hating your training, is it because you're putting too much on your plate and your training needs to change? Or is it because we need to have a conversation about your mindset? And it's important that you feel like you're in a safe scenario with your coach where you can open up about these things and be collaborative. And that's really what we pride ourselves on, even in my own coaching practice. It's collaboration. Coaching is a partnership, just like any relationship, a friendship, a marriage, engagement. It's a partnership, and it requires communication on both ends. So end rant. That's kind of what's going on. That's all the updates for this week. If you're new here, once again, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. If you're not here and you're returning, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, because you know that we're going to be posting videos each and every week. I'm not sure if I'll have a video out next Sunday or not, because Sunday night is New Year's Eve, and I have visitors, but if not, there'll be a video coming out shortly after that. So just stay tuned. I will be posting all things about my reverse, all things about my road to my pro debut. And thanks for watching this week. I'll talk to you guys next week.